Along the way, we will be describing what happened in that decade to bring us back to that time period. We start with the 1950s. They were sometimes referred to as the Golden Age. Color TV was invented, Elvis appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, and Queen Elizabeth became queen. It was the peak of the baby boom. Price of a new car was $1,800, and a new house cost $10,000. Popular TV shows were Lassie, The Lone Ranger, Bonanza, and Gunsmoke. Unfortunately, we don't have a dress from that era, but I would like ladies who were married between 1950 and 59 to please stand. If you were married between 1950 and 59. Anybody here? Okay. Wonderful. Is there anybody who has been married longer? Okay. I didn't want to miss anybody. We move on to the 60s. To many, the 60s can be summed up as the Vietnam War, hippies, protests, and rock and roll. The first men walked on the moon. John F. Kennedy was elected and then tragically assassinated a couple years later. The Beatles released their first single. Popular toys were Barbie dolls and G.I. Joes. 2 dozen oranges cost 89 cents. Popular TV shows were The Monkees, Hogan's Heroes, The Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, and Green Acres. In this era, we listened to the Beach Boys and Simon and Garfunkel. Oops. Please stand if you were married between 1960 and 69. We recognize these ladies. Our first bridal gown belongs to Josephine Skinnerward. Josephine DeYoung, at the time, married Neil on October 12, 1963, in St. Bridget's Church in Logan. Father Stephen Toth officiated. The floor-length gown is made of white Italian silk with a train flowing from the shoulders. The gown is styled with a boat neckline and lily point sleeves. It has 34 buttons for a back closure. Must have been before zippers were invented. The dress is being modeled by Leah Skinnerward, granddaughter of Josephine. The flower girl dress, which is being worn by Sophia Bitzer, was originally worn by Josie's daughter Anne when she was 3 for Joe and Linda DeYoung's wedding, which was 50 years ago on April 27th. The ribbon around it is not original, but the color is close. Thank you, Haley and Sophia. Take a seat. The following dress was worn by Marie Rose Snyders on May 15th, 1965. Not too many women can wear their own dresses, but here Rose is wearing her own dress. Mary Rose Van Hevel married Gerard Snyders, also in St. Bridget's Church, Logan. Father Stephen Toth officiated. She's wearing her own beautiful wedding gown. It was purchased at Shapiro's in Stratford, and it has beautiful embroidery and bow accents. Lovely dress, Rose. Thank you so much, Rose. Thank you. In the 1970s, the Walt Disney Resort opened in Florida. Just a second, Mary. Yep, that's good. Microsoft was created and the movie Jaws played at movie theaters. The CN Tower, the world's tallest freestanding structure, was completed. Medium eggs cost 25 cents a dozen, and a porcelain kitchen sink cost $10. Popular music was ABBA, The Village People, while we watched The Waltons, Little House on the Prairie, and Happy Days on the TV. Please stand if you were married between 1970 and 79. Next, we have the gown of Helen Hybers, Helen de Groot. She married Paul de Groot on November 24th, 1973 in Holy Rosary Church in Wyoming, Ontario. The celebrant was Father John Johnson. Modeling the dress for Helen is her great niece, Mary Van Bakel. The wedding dress was purchased in Sarnia. It is a satin dress with lace trimmings. Helen wore a short veil and carried a bouquet of yellow roses and white carnations. Beautiful. Thank you, Mary. In the 1980s, Lady Diana and Prince Charles were married. The first mobile phones were sold, and the Chernobyl reactor exploded in the USSR, and the Berlin Wall was taken down. We had our first personal computers as we entered into the digital age. Popular musicians were Chicago, Bruce Springsteen, and Whitney Houston. The TV shows were Dukes of Hazzard, Dallas, The Cosby Show, and Cheers. Please stand if you were married between 1980 and 89. Susie Court, or Susie Regier at the time, wore the next dress when she married Ron Court on June 1st, 1985, by Father Paul Mooney at the old St. Boniface Church in Zurich. This 1980s style white dress that her family friend Rebecca is modeling has puffy sleeves and an open neck. It was bought at Sophie's in London. It is a well-used dress being used for a variety of purposes over the years. Thank you so much, Rebecca. The second gown from this time period belongs to Linda Donkers. Linda de Koning and John Donkers were married on August 9, 1986, at Our Lady Help of Christians Catholic Church in Watford by Father Murray Sample. Her dress, modeled by her daughter Sarah, is a white satin gown, edged with lace around a full skirt flowing into a long train. The bodice features a deep V inset of lace and pearls, complemented by white ruffle lace. The long cuff sleeves and collar band were accented with rows of tiny lace flowers. A satin hat with lace flowers and pearls with an attached fingertip veil completed the ensemble. Accompanying Sarah is Linda and John's great niece, Alyssa DeWitt, modeling the Flower Girl dress, which we want to mention it was on a little shorter girl then, so the dress was a little longer, but it still looks awesome. This taffeta dress, fuchsia in color, features puff sleeves and a large bow, and it was worn by a niece on the wedding day and was similar to the bridesmaids' dresses. Linda mentioned that she paid $384 for her dress at the time, and it cost $16 to dry clean it in 1986. Thank you, Sarah and Alyssa. In the 1990s, Nelson Mandela was released from prison. The first of the Harry Potter books were released, and Google was founded. Seinfeld, Friends, and MacGyver were watched weekly on TV. Please stand if you were married between 1990 and 99. Here is the gown of Terry Lynn Van Herk. She has worn this dress for 2 weddings. Terry Lynn Cerrone married Ben Vandershot on July 22, 1989 at St. Joseph's Church in Stratford. This satin dress, worn by Terry Lynn's daughter Shaylin, has a low back with the traditional puffy sleeves popular at the time. It also had a nice train, which was cut off to make it T-length and worn with granny boots when she married Don Van Herk on November 11, 1995 at Holy Name of Mary Church in St. Mary's by Don's uncle, Father John Van den Hingel. She got twice the value with this dress. Thank you, Shaylin. We welcome Michelle to the stage. Michelle Homan, or Michelle Vanessa at the time, married Harry Homan on September 4th, 1993 at St. Joseph's Church in Stratford. Father McIsaac was the celebrant. There's a beautiful train with a bow in the back, lovely sequins and poofy sleeves. She bought it for $500 at a shop in Woodstock. And I think she's wearing her her veil, the one she wore for the wedding as well. And was it your necklace as well that you wore? And the earrings. Okay, so necklace and earrings from the wedding day. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. Yes.